Okay, so it's 6:14 on Saturday morning, and I got up super late. When I got up, it was after 5. When I woke up, I don't know. Sometimes I'm awake, but then there's like this second layer because all of a sudden you open your eyes, and go, oh wait, I'm awake. So that you're like can be awake, and it still is like your eyes are shut, but you're still awake, you know. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh wait, now I'm really awake. And so that when that happened, um, I saw the light. I was like, oh my gosh, there's so light outside. I wonder what time it is. So then when I got up, it was like 5:08 or something. So that's weird. It's only been an hour since I got up. Because I've had a couple of conversations. I've gone upstairs a couple of times. So, but one of the things that I just was up there saying, it's like, I want to talk about this more. So, let me think. And I have a cup of tea. This is my third one, too. And I've got a couple donuts on my mind. I've got donuts on my mind. So, anyways, I got crazy hair. That, let me think. I feel so out of it. It doesn't fucking matter. I feel out of it. I feel disconnected. I feel weird. I just feel weird. It's like when I was up at first, I was trying to remember something from like, did that happen yesterday? Or did that, and it's like, everything is just like, I don't know. There's stopping to be a yesterday or today. It's just time. It's just like, I don't know. It's weird. There's lots of weird shit happening with time. And the weird things happening like with our body, weird things happening with sounds, weird things happening with time. So like our connection. So things feel really, I don't know, disjointed. This can seem real fast and slow than what's connecting them. Like it's just everything is just falling apart. Like, I don't know what else to say. And so it kind of is like, however it falls apart for you, you just gotta hold it together, kind of, because I feel like that's what people are going crazy about, because as things are falling apart, they're having to face things, they just can't handle it, they can't do it. And so the intensity is getting to them. And so that's where finding yourself grounding, or just I don't know, because I kind of see it as like the whole world's going crazy, but you're just sitting in a corner singing to yourself, staying calm. Like you got to figure out how to do that for yourself. And it's like you have to figure out how to keep yourself calm. And to me, a lot of it has to do with remembering, this isn't real. This isn't real. We're in a game. Remember, we're in this story. It's all it is a story playing out. It's not real, but we're here to experience, what the difference is of sitting back watching a building fall, and whereas being next to the building when it does fall. Like, so we're in it to we're in it to win it. We're in it to make the experience more, there's more depth to it, from all the different perspectives that you can reach. And that's what a soul is kind of doing. It's like this, but it's kind of, okay, so it's kind of like a soul is more of an evaluator, more of a just looking at things really fast and experiencing. And the more you can go into the experience, the more it is to this more depth. And yesterday I was thinking about something, and I could see totally about the vibration in the entry into the lower vibration. And then like all these other beings and stuff that don't just come in and come into this vibration because it's so uncomfortable. And so, but they can go through it, but then also because we're not of this vibration, we can go through portals. That's how sometimes people disappear, because they don't realize what this world is. And so they go out on a hike in a forest and then end up in some other world, And what's really trippy is they could go into that world and they think they've been gone a day, and they come back and it's been like 100 years. And there's been 50 years or something. That's probably where, because there's these pictures that go around where these people find these old pictures, and they find people holding cell phones and shit. It wouldn't surprise me if it was like somebody from a different time goes through and enters into a different time. Like, so it is like time traveling. But, you know, I mean, it could be a variety of things. Maybe that they had all this technology back then, and this is just a replay. You know, let's just play it out again and again and again and again. And then here we come coming so we can play it out again and again, because we can play all these different roles, because that is our drive, is this experience, because of the gain of perspective. It's like a diamond gaining facets. It's like this, which there's more information coming out too over the missing, you know, the little ones, and what is a diamond and how it is made from Azra. So, oh yeah. So then, yeah, switch to the Soylent Green, because you got to drive up the price of the other one anyways. You can't just keep making diamonds and letting everybody have diamonds. No, it's got to be something that people are like, well, I want one. I'll do anything, please. So it's like, you got to create the tension. So anyways, it makes sense that they would switch off. Let's not make diamonds in purses anymore. Let's instead put it in the food. That was decided a long time ago. I mean, that was in Twilight Zone. It's a menu. So, yeah. It's just so, I mean, it was in the movies. I mean, a movie about it when I was a kid. I saw it. It made me hyper aware of like, what the fuck are we eating? Because to me, I've been, like I said, playing a different game. Like, when the information would come to me, I didn't look at it the same as the other people. Oh, that's just a movie. Don't be silly. Oh, yeah. And speaking of that, so my brother is at my brother's. And so, and my brother got his scan, and everything's holding. It's holding. So there's no big change, apparently. And so, and they all attribute it to this God that they worship, of science, of, you know, a miracle worker or something, which she is just anti anything natural, I swear to God. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of weird stuff. I don't know the lady, but whatever. I don't fall to my knees for a fucking guy with a lab coat on and fucking papers on his walls. They're just the same kind of dick as everybody else. Which, what was that? Oh yeah, that was in that new show. Okay. Yeah, but that is like a spoiler. Okay. Okay, so, oh God. Okay, it's always, man, I'll think like this one thing, and then it's like, oh yeah, but this, my brain. Okay. So, let me finish this thing. This, okay. Okay, let me gather my thoughts for a second, see where. Okay, so, the, okay. Oh. I'm getting this rush of a bunch of fucking words. I swear to God, I think sometimes it's a disruption. It's to try and, because you have to focus. Everything is focus. Everything is focus. It's awareness is a focus. Changing your focus, paying attention. Awareness is the fine tuning of self. So the awareness in yourself. What drives your emotions? What drives your impulses? What drives your desires? You know, who's driving the vehicle? So an autopilot is lower kundalini. You're just reactive. And so there's a lot of stuff to gain awareness of, you know, so you can take control, take a handle on your life and go in the direction you want to go. And so it has, everything is about focus and awareness. And so in the soul's world, it is this that's why reincarnation is not just, it's not just like you're going into this real flesh and blood place and you're all this stuff. It's like the soul is this, oh, okay. So look at it like an energy field, and all of our energy in it, this nucleus thing, our energy is much bigger, like this pulsating energy. And it's more like if you go all the way up into where you are, who your true self is, your orb, then, and you go all the way to where you're no longer taking and creating a character for an experience. It's just changing focus. Everything is just changing focus. So if you were just like, let go, okay, so like if the lights went out here, that would be, okay, so if all the power, everything went out here in this plane of existence, then it would be us. We would be the light. Oh, that's what we would see. Okay, it just gave me chills. Okay. Oh, man, that's like a rush of chills. Hold on. That's trippy. I don't know, but I can see it. But so if the lights were to go out and all of a sudden all we could see was our energy and how our energy runs into each other, that is the creation of different realities, is this energy, and us sharing these energies together. And then it's a huge amount of us is like, I see it a lot of times in the brain, like the universal mind. That's why I say universal mind sometimes, because I see it as this giant brain and how the brain works. And when I was in nursing school and learning about the synapses and how the brain works, and that is driven like by sugar, is I'm pretty sure it's sugar or glucose is the first initiator of the domino, which is kind of trippy how they're always telling us to stay away from sugar. But I think the problem with the sugar is the same thing as the iodized salt, that they've done something to the sugar. Stella, please stop it. Just come over here and lay down. You're not having any more food right now. That's a big no. I already told you. So stop it. Just come over here and lay down. She's so bossy. She just tries to drive me with her emotional meltdowns. Okay, come over here and lay down. Okay, go over there and lay down then. Wherever you want to lay down, just lay down. When I finish, they haven't even got up and ate their food. I told you can have more when they eat. She's always hungry. She already ate. Hasn't even been an hour. I was like what I was doing. Okay. Back on the lights. so in the brain, so a synapse, yeah, see the disease, all of it. I swear to God, if anything, our real world is like a giant brain. But then as it goes out more, see, it needs organs, it needs organization, and it needs philosophy, like it needs a purpose. Like that is the first step down, the first tier down of like the first souls and what they were and what they, the first conscious, the first beings of consciousness, where they became aware and conscious and were able to create. And I'm getting this really strong scratch right in my throat. Hold on. It's like a gnawing. Oh. So it's like some just in there scratch. Oh God, it hurt. So it is like an energy, and then energy becomes aware of itself, and that's the first state of consciousness. And then in the state of consciousness, it becomes creators, and it begins to create. But it's through these different, like, philosophies. I don't know what else to call it. These different ways of looking at things, because that's the difference, is these different ways of looking at things. And so, but we play off of each other. And so, um, but it's not like there's a right or a wrong, because everything has a good or a bad. And so it's all in how you live or experience. But so that to me goes out into these confirmation, where I look at that being now the watchers, like it's like they are in observation of themselves, because it is the extension or the echo or the bleed out of the nucleus of the information. So everything from that group comes from that, and so it goes out. Oh, it's like a family tree, like this family tree of consciousness, because then it's like birthing yourself almost. Like you becoming aware of yourself is like the birthplace of a new creator. And and it's like your abilities are always growing and growing, like, and so that's what this big thing is. That's why it has so much to do with now, is because we're in this huge, like, growth period, this big expansion. And that's why so many people are moving into this new awareness, although it is connecting to your awareness, but it's also an expansion, because it's moving you further. So it's moving you, because every bit of expansion is always moving you. And so, but it's not like that you could ever reach the end. It's not like you could ever reach and be like, well, yeah, we're one of the 13 original, no, because it came from these philosophies. And I don't know if it's 13. I just know it's like it's the birth of an energy, and it like goes, and then it becomes these different ways of looking at things, which then it's like you can look at all these different experiences through these different eyes of like a philosophy, so that you can see. And that's the mind. It's the mind's eye. It's how the mind is expansive, and it's this it's a spark of life. And so we're like a spark of life. But then it is like we are alive, but we question, and we don't understand as the spark of life, like what, who, and what am I? And that is like, to me, is what starts your the initial process of trying to figure out who and what you are. And that is like the spark of existence, where then you go and it's like you feed off of everybody else in that vibe, and everybody has these experiences. So that's why it's not like real. It's just, I'm telling you, it's like it's like this chewing on gum and blowing a big bubble, and that's the experience. And then it comes back in, and then you blow another experience, and but when we're in the experience, that's like why it feels so slow. It feels so serious. It feels like it's everything, you know. But when you connect outside of that, then you realize, like, this isn't everything. There's so much more. There's so much more. I'm so much more. And so that is the, the awakening, because then it's like, yeah, well, you can't just go out and be an energetic blob, an energetic vampire or whatever. You got to get a handle on yourself. And so you have to find a focus and figure yourself out, because we're in a constant state of figuring ourselves out. And so anyways, this is this this complex, like, soul graduation kind of thing, because it's this big expansive energy that's about to go, which this is another thing I want to say. Twinenson, and I may have to stop this one, and I don't know if I'm drinking too much of this chlorine dioxide, or if I'm just having lots of toxins, or what the hell is going on. But I'm having issues for the last couple days. So and this morning, oh my god, my pee stunk so bad. I was like, what in the hell? And then I have to just keep going to the bathroom, going to the bathroom. It's like, oh my God, what the hell, man? And it's not a bladder infection. I don't know. It's to me, it's just toxins. I don't know. And I mean, anybody can look at anything you do or say in any kind of way. It's up to you what you decide then. I say learn how to look at things through your own eyes and how you feel and what you think about it. And so, to me, that's what I think and that's what I feel. And so that's what it is. It is what it is. And, and we all have different ways of looking at things and seeing things the way that we see them. And that's a part of our programming. And, you know, and you can look at it however you want. I think the best thing is to always just be open and fluctuating, kind of, you know, because that's what one of the big problems in our society is, this rigid, biased, you know, you've got all the answers, nobody else has them, and there's just a lot. And but it's like a ride in our reality. It's one of the seats that you can get on. So, anyways, and so on this, there's this drama going on about this event that's coming up, the celebration, which I still am just like, this is so weird. And it's getting weirder and weirder with this army shit. Now you're pulling CEOs out and making them lieutenants and shit. Like, if people can't see the corporate bullshit, like, yeah, we're going to have these fucking maniacs telling us, you know, what to do, who to go, where to go. Like, fuck off with this shit. But, I mean, in every, like, you can sit back and observe it. It doesn't really have an effect on me. I can just sit there and talk shit. But there's people who actually it has an effect on. How the fuck are you going to let it go? Like, you know, you're going to, when this is the falling apart, the two energies hitting into each other and deciding which way you're going. You're going to conform, you're going to go with them, or you're going to fight against it and go on your own, go stand on your own. And everybody's being pushed in different ways. Like, my mom all of a sudden got this motivation because she was this huge amount of these these wildflowers out front, and I keep thinking, oh my gosh, you know, I want to have a place like this with lots of wildflowers. It's so pretty. A lake nearby, lots of trees. I just want to be living like out in nature, kind of, you know. In this house, and I moved into the next phase. So my daughter went and saw it. She says, cute as hell. There was a connection, an open door. We'll see how open it is. But my daughter was like, calls me and she's like, the weirdest thing just happened. She said, I got a mammogram like 6 weeks ago. And when I was in there getting it, I was talking to the lady who was doing it. We're chatting away. And she's telling me about her rental property. And I was like, and she's like, well, when I went, that was the lady. And so they're talking and stuff. So there was a connection there. So anyways, we'll see where it goes. But it still is in a little city. You know, it's not like out. But I lived out at the other place, and I've been out here. And I definitely like out, but maybe I'm supposed to experience it. I don't know. You don't know what your whole thing is. And you can sit here and get frustrated and stuff through, but you don't know. You just got to go with the flow, and you got to be like, allow things to happen the way they're supposed to happen, and learn to not force things when things are falling apart or closing doors or whatever. So anyways, I've sent in the application and the dogs. I went and got my little letter thing from the doctor's office and stuff. So anyways, we'll see what comes back next, because then it still is, you know, will they accept my move-in day, because I still got to come up with all this money to move in, because it's a shit ton of money. And so anyways, it's just, everything is a thing. I don't know, can go however. Oh my gosh, my stomach, like, this is fucking ridiculous. Man. So so anyways, let me see if I can get further through this, okay? Because I want to say about this and get my mind off my stomach. Because, okay, so this event that's supposed to be happening, and this girl starting this video, which is so funny because I was just talking about this yesterday. with my mom, because she was saying, oh, they've always got these dates and nothing ever happens. Nothing's ever, it's maybe in 10 years or something. I'm like, no, it's coming. Like, but you can't get people to understand. Like, no, there's events occurring that are leading us into, we are close to this. Whatever is going to happen, we're close. Like, I mean, you got to look at the stuff going on. I mean, the absurdity, too. Like, we've got an army celebrating its birthday that's older than our country's birthday. Or, it's like, I don't know. They've got my head spinning over their bullshit and their fake history. And, you know, it's like you're trying to keep putting together numbers, just like looking in the sky. You're trying to put together and rationalize and stuff. It's like, sometimes you just gotta drop it and just be like, whatever. Doesn't make any sense. It's a bunch of bullshit. It's weird. And then it's just to try and get us to see things, to open our minds, to open our hearts, to open our, because I swear to God, this stuff on what is that called? Immigrate, all this ICE, all this shit, is to open our hearts and reconnecting to ourselves and seeing, like, yeah, they can't tell us where to go. That's some bullshit. We gotta stand up. All of us stand up together. They can't tell us. And they want to choose their fucking who they're gonna be over in charge of us and stuff. This constant, and they're just gonna put them in. There's some more weird shit. Oh yeah, because I think that is Blue who's doing that, because they're gonna, for sure. Then there's more weird shit too, with stuff coming out on Barack, and he's the one who started this thing with the Contra, the deals over there with where he came from, because he was a plant to do this. Like, this all stuff was figured a long while ago. They've been doing this stuff for a long time. But he was, because he was created, like, he was a kid. That's kind of rude. I don't want to say that. But, you know, he was a kid. He was being passed around. And so, you know, by men. So then but he's a puppet. He's a puppet to these guys. These bad guys, who then they form groups and give them names, but these bad guys are in charge of these groups, so they look for more bad guys, and then they become these groups that are out to get us, and they, because their connection with the government, so then they send over their people to be put in, because that's what he is. So, I mean, when you learn more about his history and stuff, it's like, what the hell? So the let me see. Okay, so on this date, okay, because yeah, so the nonsense on every fucking thing that can drive you crazy. We just gotta be like, well, fucking let it go. Can't figure it out. It's just a bunch of crazy bullshit. Then in the dates, to me, there's a purposeful thing for sure. That there's, it's like this girl who I saw this morning, she was saying that they are, you know, they were talking about it, and then everybody starts talking about it, and so then they can't do it because there's too many people talking about it, and so they have to not do some of the things that the people are talking about, which makes the people look crazy, and so that she thinks there's an ulterior motive in that. But I also think, though, there could be a lot of leaked things to create confusion so that people aren't prepared, because people keep dropping down, because the more dates that come and go, the more people are, oh, nothing's going to happen. Oh, God, stop it. And it's like, no, it's coming. You feel like you're the sky is falling, and everybody's like, ah, shut up, you weirdo. But it's like, no, it seriously is, this is an energetic thing. This is a cosmic event. Like, this is coming, and this is the clash, and then we're on the verge. Like, it's, you know, who knows what day and time or whatever is going to be, but it's coming, and being in denial of that is in a disconnect or something from what's real. And what's real is energy. And so, yeah, pay attention to the energy, the things moving through our society and how things are working. And notice that, you know, they're trying to teach things. They're trying to teach morals. They're trying to teach information. There's a lot of information out there. And so everybody knows, they have to show us things. It's like that one movie. They put that movie out, and then all of a sudden, all this stuff happens. This is right out of the movie. So they come up with these scenarios or whatever. So this is a scenario they put out under a topic of, bio, like war, something, occurrence scenario, whatever. They were like, well, what if this happens? But they play it out in detail. And so it's before Congress now, and in their thing. And they've got it, Congress says this and, all this stuff. So in their thing, what they say is that on this day coming up, this independence, where, I don't know if it's going to be like a big celebration, like something's going to happen and people are going to really be celebrating their freedom or what the hell, who knows what's coming up. But but there's an event that occurs, and it's bio, which is so mental because we're sitting here struggling with symptoms because they've been using these on us for years. But anyways, there's gonna, all of a sudden, one comes and 280,000 gone in an instant, and then it's like, what do they do with the rest of us? How do they control this situation? I guess is their plan, and more people are gonna go because of this severe toxin that wipes these people out immediately, and so and they're saying that happens this coming up. And but even when they give us dates and times, it can be that this is coming up, but it may not be on that date. It could be today. It could be any moment of any day. And if that's their point of change, if that's what's going to occur, and they're building this big war scenario, so and getting more absurd with it, CEOs now are in charge. Like, what the fuck? Jesus Christ, I swear to God, that's so fucking ridiculous. I swear to God. And so but whatever's gonna play out is coming. Like and I don't know if that's gonna be the thing. I mean, that would be fucked. That'll be fuckery. It's gonna be sad. And they've already got this new sickness going from the Congo, and it's hit Ohio. It's made ground in Ohio, and now at the hospitals, and everybody's putting them on, prepare because this is so horrible. And so I got that. And then I was thinking, even with, the constant spraying us, making us sick all the fucking time, that if it's not just an accelerator or something that comes in, because the preparation's been done, and like I've said, like anybody who knows about science, it's like, well, you add a little of this, you add a little of this, you add a little of this, oh, that happened, you add a little of this is how, and so that's what we are. Add a little of this, add a little of that, get them on this stage, where they're all sick, depleted, not, their filter systems are clogged up, their bodies are on high, not high absorbency, high, oh, well, I guess, yeah, it could be, but high, like alert, like overactive, like all this autoimmune, this overreactive, everybody's nerves, their stuff is all like, "Grr." So, and that is hard for people. People think like, well, man, something's really wrong with me. It's like, it's goddamn poisons are fucking causing every fucking thing. So if they're going to come in with another one, it's not like it's a new introduction for us. So it would definitely be an accelerant, I would think. Something to just take things in a new direction for a certain group. It depends on where it strikes, and it depends on what they've all had. And bet your ass it would be coordinated. It'd be like, well, we're going to hit there because this will do a lot of damage right there. In Ohio, I would think like that. I'd be worried on the chopping block always for Ohio because they've done so much extreme with the derailments and shit. And the fucking fire, like those people have breathed in so much fucking toxins, drank everything. And they're probably all on the verge of, they probably got so much stuff growing in them and they don't even fucking know. They're just fighting. And doctors don't know what things to look for or test unless they're told by the corporation. The corporation's not going to tell you because they've got another thing coming in. And so the next thing would be, the slam bam, thank you, ma'am, kind of ending, or finale, the fat woman singing. And then they got the West Virginia, they just wiped out like North Carolina. They just went in and just whatever. They said it was the same thing. Water just came in with a force and just swept through. And I don't even know the death or whatever on that. I don't know if it's going to be as horrible as it was in the other place. But this stuff is going to keep going and keep going. I mean, anywhere you are, it doesn't matter where you are. Like, they can come in with tornadoes, earthquakes, volcanoes, floods, lightning. There's anything, like fucking anything can go down. So that's why you got to just be ready for anything. Not like, maybe a few years. They're always saying this. It's like, just get, there's things hitting all over the place. There's shit going down everywhere. And when nothing's going down in your area, yeah, I would say your time is, your own borrowed time. Like, I would not get into my mind, oh, well, nothing's going to happen. I would get that out of my mind, and I would be more prepared. I would be like, what do I do if something happens? Where do I go? How's it going to work and stuff? And then there's certain things where your hands are tied and stuff, like, and that's where you just go with the flow. Like I said, I feel like I'm going back into the fire by going backwards in the state, going back across towards the east or west, even though it's south central, but there's so much with Oregon, and then it's closer to there. So it's and in the one map, that's all gone. So at some point there's going to be evacuation from some of these areas. But on the other map, it kind of cuts across there. But see, they've got that big mountain range right there that could protect, but they're in a valley. So, but they've got so many mountains to get across. But I don't know. I don't know how the water is going to flow. I feel like that there's going to be people trying to escape that's going to have the water on their heel. It's going to be fucking disaster. Disaster movie, fucking huge disaster movie. It's going to be crazy when shit starts going, especially if it's the earthquake things, which it's, who knows, because they could fucking set some of that stuff off. I think they've been trying to set some of that stuff off. So who knows, I mean, is it going to be some biohazard thing? Is it going to be a natural disaster? Is it going to be a sickness? I don't know. Something's coming. And what was I heard something yesterday too over money thing. But in their thing, when they're laying out that scenario, it's like, yeah, why are they cheap? But I would definitely think like it could be any of the days, just because that's the day they picked. You know what I mean? And then you just think about like it goes and it comes, and that day goes and comes, and then the next day. So all the people are like, oh, see, nothing ever happens, nothing ever. Don't taunt it, man. Shut the fuck up. God dang. That is one of the things when I was just upstairs. We're talking about the dogs and the little tiny one. It was a whole thing. It was a long thing. We were just talking about a couple of things, but it was a long thing, and this little dog, and Belle, the little tiny one, and talking about like it's horrible because if you step on her and crush her, kill her. So we're talking about the whole thing, and my mom was like, oh well, I don't ever step on her, whatever. So we're having this thing, and so then I'm standing over by the door, fixing to be going down, and she turns around and steps down, and there's this loud squeal. I thought she stepped on a dog toy. It was a squeal like that. I thought she stepped on that. And then, no, it was Belle. And I was like, oh my God, we were just saying that. I said, man, you gotta watch out what you talk about. And she's like, yes. It's like, because it happens. God. So yeah, these people need to shut the fuck up. Quit taunting this. It's going to. There's gonna be something happen. Don't be saying, oh no, nothing's gonna happen. It's like you need to be more connected to the universe and understand the period of time we're at and what is happening, because this is the time of change. how it plays out. We're here to experience it. There's like a blindness to it for us. It's like a surprise. And so that's where you got to kind of get into tune with accepting the surprise and knowing that everything's going to be fine. But yeah, there's something coming, and there's no getting away from it. There's no getting around it. And it's going to be intense because it's going to create a huge change. And look at where we're coming from. Like, oh my God, the way people are and the things that they accept and stuff. Oh, yeah. So in this movie, so I won't say what movie because, so it's not a spoiler, but anyways, I just watched this movie. It was 100% more disclosure. Like, there's so much fucking disclosure all around us all the time. But this was lawyers, because I have said that there's groups of people in our regular everyday society that are the protective barrier. They're the mask for they're the puppets for the people in the dark. And so they protect them. Lawyers are there to protect them. Judges are there to protect them. Politicians are there to protect them and do their dirty work too. So in this movie, it's all about because this creation of all this corporation and these LLC, all this structure that is non-existent. It's like you just make up a name of a company, put it out there, put a couple people in, call them the CEO, call them this, call them that, but there's not really, it's a shell, it's nothing there. There's not a business, this guy's not a CEO over anything. It's just all of this because it's a scramble of how they move things around and how this can be the fall guy for this and this can, so it's just this game in life of them, like the shell game, which is it? Where's it at? Yes, and so that's what they do, and it's all, and they use it for their dirty work and, laundry problems and stuff like that. And so it's a very gangster kind of thing. And then you get these people involved in it. And in this movie, and this was like, it wasn't just a lawyer who worked there. He was the lawyer who, it was his name on the door. It wasn't just his name, it was on there twice. So it was like a family thing. So he, and so he was the top lawyer at the place, and he was making deals with these people, just taking kickbacks and give a shit about, just giving the money, and they're covering their asses, and then but it gets deeper in. So you're gonna go do some arms trading, like how much you gonna get off that? Well, okay, if I'm gonna cover you, you're gonna give me some money off that. So it's real corrupted. And that's how far that we'll see as things start going out. Where I said there's going to be people who are neighbors, husbands, they're going to be getting called in to go before, well, some, I guess, before Congress, but Congress is going down too. So it's going to be before this military thing. And so it's going to be facing big charges. And so there's going to be people who have been covering some big crimes. And some of them, I think, don't even realize, like, where the money is going. And they're going to be, like, associated to some crimes that are a severe penalty. But that's the, going in blind, believing what you're told. Like, this is all playing out in all sorts of ways. And so people are going to go face some strong things for believing what they're told, doing what they're told. Like, those are going to be some harsh penalties that are going to happen for some people because of what they got themselves involved in. And that big thing about, greed and desire is going to be like taking a big shift in our state of consciousness as we see some of this stuff play out. And like, what people will do for money. Well, it's real gross, especially when money is a created illusion of a concept, kind of like to get people to fight over it and to have control somehow over them by this illusion of this monetary system that we create by buying into it. So we make it have purpose. We make it relevant instead of saying, no, we're not doing that. We can go over here and trade shit. Like, why would we be a part of that? We got got this valuable thing. That person wants it. I can go give it to him and get that. Like, why do we need this? But we all bought in. Well, we can go and give us money. Like, we can buy things. They give us things to buy. They give us money. Oh, and then they just take a little bit out for themselves. But, I can still go get this and get that. Well, then they put more and more restrictions to where after a while, that's the only way you can do it. You can't just go out on your own. Oh, yeah, because on this plant thing, so she's got all these wildflowers out there, right? And she's like, I got to go out there and cut those. I'm like, why? And she's like, because the county's going to come and they fine me. And I was like, they fine you over the flowers? And she goes, yeah, it's a noxious weed, they said, and it's very invasive. And so I have to get, I said, it's medicinal then. It's 100%. There's no fucking way. Like, it's definitely medicinal. And so I came down and I looked it up. And of course it is. And so then I sent her the stuff. And so once she read it, she's like, okay, I'm fighting them. I could use this for so many different things. So I went out yesterday before I was sure that she was going to fight them. I already started harvesting some, but she's still got so much more to grow. She's like, I'm fighting them on it. And so hopefully she can really get in there and fight this bullshit, because it's fucking bullshit. Can you fucking imagine? Government can come in and tell you what you can grow on your own goddamn yard, and they can fine you? Fuck off. Fucking bullshit with their overstepping fucking shit. Like, fuck off, man. So, so anyways, I think it's the leaves and the roots. So I'm going to pull all these leaves, and they're long leaves like this. So I'm going to pull all these leaves, and it is good for, it's good for pain, fever, lungs, urinary, it was a whole bunch of stuff, a whole bunch of things it's good for, of course. And so I'm going to dry out the leaves and maybe make a crunch thing or something. Like I could crunch up some leaves like my nettles or whatever and put it in the tea. And then she's going to see about, using a web, because you can also make, if you get like a plant in, there's lots of plants around. I told her, I think I've just said it on here before. I said, I am sure with your land and you as an older person, I'm being more restricted on your income. I've said the universe will be giving you something. There's something in your yard that has value, guaranteed. It's something down here is growing that you would be able to sell and make money off of. And which is another one. And she has an elderberry tree out here, and so yeah, there's things out here that the earth is giving you that you could share and get something back for. And I knew that there would be. And then yeah, right away there's this. And it was the next day after she just told me, because I was talking about these flowers on this tree. I was like, they smell so good, like the lavender or lilac or something. She goes, I was told this is an elderberry tree. And but she said I have to really look into it more. So I got to look into it more. But anyway, she was told it was an elderberry tree, which that is another herb or plant that is used for medicine. And so that one. And then you have people who make these concoctions. And so they also, it's not just like everyday regular people. You can sell this stuff like in bulk to people who make these, who need these plants and stuff. And all the pine needles, like I don't even know if she's got the right ones, but some of these leaking sap and stuff, like there's so many things, but we just don't look at it. But anyways, now she does have it, and it like, oh, well, they come in and tell you that you have to take it down. Like, because it's something good for you. Why the fuck would they give a shit? It's for something because it's good for you. And of course, that's what it is. So what I'm going to do is pull off the leaves and dry them and see what happens, and just see how it plays out. But I was glad that she was willing to be like, yeah, I'm not going to just comply. I'm going to say no and see, where it goes, which... yeah, hopefully it's going to just open the door to more no's, because it's hard to stand up to the system at first, especially when everybody's thinking you're crazy and it seems like the logical thing is just do what we're told. But no, we got to stop doing what we're told, because they are just trying to drive us right off a fucking cliff. And then we're going to see the pain of doing what we're told, because the people who are going to, you know, go out in a snap, that's going to be a part of that energy, I think. I think it's going to show, you know, what it is when you're not paying attention, what it is when you're trusting, you know. Just like, I mean, that would be a real slam for Ohio. And all of a sudden, another chemical comes in, and it's like, but all of the compliancy, there'd be like a certain group of people who just stayed there, and they're probably getting sicker and sicker. It probably is doing them a favor of taking them out quickly or something, because they're probably going to have a really sickening, long, drawn out situation that would go on otherwise. Who knows, you know? But that is going, you know. You do have that going. So, you know, mercy would be the mercy killing, would be a quick thing. But the but let me see, because so, but in this show, when it was showing that, it was showing the structure and the bad part, and the kind of mentality of these people. And so, and that's true. I mean, like, that's a big part of the problem. It's like the people who were, I don't know why, so desperate. They're desperate for something. There's some desperation. Because if you're not desperate for anything, you don't give a shit. I mean, you can't be bought. So there's some kind of something that the person desires, something they want. And everything is timing. Everything is set up for your life. So, say, you know, like a lawyer, he goes to work or whatever, and somebody's talking about something they just got, and he's like, man, I really want one of those things. I'm never going to get ahead. I'll never have enough money. I've got this or that. And then an opportunity suddenly comes where you can make some quick money fast. And then those things are dropped in as a lure. You know, like, well, throw that in, see who bites, and then we'll know who our next bad guy is, because we can get them. And then there's always a point where anyone who is bought on draws a line, and that's where it becomes more dangerous, because now you're in it, you know, and they're not going to let you just leave it. And so now you're stuck in this fucking cesspool of this energy. And so that but the lure in with something that's not so bad. And so just like the freak offs and stuff, you know, lure in and then see who's into it, and then get them in deeper and deeper. And so people get in deeper and deeper, but then when they get to a point where they're like, I can't do this, this next thing, then that is where you can run into problems, especially depending on who the group is that you are involved with. And I think, you know, the diddler, I think he just did people in. I think they did people in all the time. And I'm sure in all these different things. It's probably, you know, lawyers getting in crashes, and CEOs falling downstairs and having heart attacks. They've got the special aerosols and shit for all this stuff. So, you know, sudden death of this or that, it probably has to do with them standing up, because that was in this show. You know, the guy who stood up to the group, and because they have a head name, but then it's all these other ones, and you're protecting all this stuff as they're doing all this money stuff, and you're getting this, but then it's at a point where it's like, you know, my soul is hurting. Like, this is making me sick. I can't be involved in this, and it all goes to such deep, dark stuff. Because the big trade in there is the human, so that gets into some really dark, deep stuff. In this one, it was about what these people were involved with was so getting workers, so getting people with no papers. See, this is another part of this whole immigration thing that's coming to the surface that people have got to see. It is a part of the slave industry. And so there's people who are being used. And so in this one, they would get these people that would come over undocumented, and then get them in traps, and then just work them to death. like you're just worked to death. And they do this in different countries all the time stuff, but they do it here too. It's either certain things, and it has to do with this illegal pay, this paperwork, paper trail. And so and that's where this other force is coming in to bring up this thing. It wouldn't surprise me even if the wall was to really bring into light that we need to pay attention to who's crossing over here. Let's bring attention to this. And even though it seems like, well, that's a lot of money to spend on something to get us to pay attention, but what we're doing is priceless, and money doesn't matter. That's the thing. It's all monopoly. It's a Yeah, they've got the monopoly on it, but it's all just this shell. This is moving this and that and stuff. It's just this bullshit. And we think like it's, oh God, we're gonna invest in it. I need a retirement from this, or Social Security. Like all of it, it's just fucking just nonsense bullshit. And so but the drawing attention to the wall, that brought up a lot of stuff about the criminals. And you have the next phase where they just come in, just coming in, story after story, crazy story, kids, people, all sorts of stuff happening about that. And then that shows the like the crimes and stuff. So it brings it into our awareness, because we're all just going about our lives not having awareness of the severity of these crimes and how it's interlocked and looped through our lives, and how it really does have an effect on us when we don't realize, like, the things they're doing have an effect on our existence. And the only way to stop it is for us to put a stop to it, for us to stop playing our part, stop just going out and being a mindless cog in the wheel of this world. And so so anything where it's like the cogs are breaking, it's like the wheels are falling off, and it can't keep going in the state that it's going, because like at this point now we got broken wheels, or we got broken rubber, and the wheels are sparking. We got sparks flying, and the wobble is like it's conflicted. And so there's that's why there's no, like, we're at this time where it's going, like this is the time, like this is the next phase, man. We were getting prepared for some of this stuff, and it all is linked together. And so then to start showing, because lately they've been showing so much about this different governor, the different people who are a part of this industry, this borderline industry, and that they are getting, money from it. Now, I think it can, I think I just heard something about somebody in like North Dakota or South Dakota or something, because they can be involved too. I mean, they need slaves everywhere, these rich people just take them and use them. And like I was talking about the other day, I remember when there started being all these rich people that had illegals working in their house. So they had maids and stuff, but they were opas or whatever. They're even these nannies and shit. Like, they get these people and then they don't pay them what they're worth. Like, they couldn't get a person here to work for what they're working for, because they're just using this person's own stuff against them, which is very racist, which I just saw a dark-skinned person talking about the blue people being so racist by not even realizing it. It's like they are the ones who are constantly giving us, like, they've got to rescue us. They've got to take care of us. We don't know what we want. We don't know. Like, it's like treating them like they're babies or something. But see, the people have got to recognize that, like, some of the stuff that they're telling you to do isn't good. And everybody's got to stop and pay attention and realize, like, what am I doing? What am I doing? Why am I doing this? Who said I should do it? Should I do it? Why am I doing it? Just the questions. Keep the questions coming. And question yourself, because that's your awareness that is growing. It's blossoming. And the more that you become aware of, the more you have to face in yourself, too. And it's not always good stuff. Like, you have dark sides. There's going to be parts needy, whiny, bitchy, angry, all these different parts of you that you got to face and be like, yeah, well, I'm a little of this, I'm a little of that. I'm not just perfect. Nobody's perfect. There's no fucking perfect person out here that we're trying to all be just like them. And that's an illusion too, because they try and sell this physical perfection as chase after that. Like, what the fuck? Why? What does that have to do with anything? Like, you got a set amount of time. You can work on your soul. You can fucking work on your surgeries. Like, fuck off. So, anyways, that's my take on it. Whatever I'm saying. Oh, I've made it for. See if I can change my focus off of what is bothering me. My stomach's bothering me. I can change the focus, and you can keep. It's weird. Like, our mind, body, spirit has so much, and I can see things so clearly. I can see people's like what they're working again, like what they're fighting in life. Like, I can see it, and I can see it like interacting with their, like, there's so much stuff that people can fix in themselves by fixing their emotions, facing their emotions, which is a spiritual healing, facing yourself. And so facing yourself, it splinters out, and you just, your sicknesses start healing, your body, everything starts healing when you heal with your mind and your spirit. Your physical body will represent it. And so, and I just feel like a certainty on that. Like, oh yeah, because that was another thing that I had heard yesterday. So, so my one brother is there with the other brother. And so, and the scan was just done. So there's been conversing back and forth and stuff. And so in some conversation, there was like, this is what my mom was telling me. She said that, yeah, everybody thinks I'm so kooky. And so she said, you can be talking, like, you can be saying, well, you know, Kelly said this or that. And I'd be like, oh, yeah, but she's so crazy. She always says crazy stuff. And my mom's like, yeah, but this is different. She said that, yeah, she has her conspiracy stuff, which I think that is more of, like, it gets called my beliefs, my conspiracy, like, it's what the stuff I talk about. She's that weird stuff. That everything is weird, and I'm weird, but there's a difference. And she said, you get her started talking about health and things like that, and she knows a shit ton of stuff. And not only that, she's a living proof. She said you can just see her. And so anyways, that's kind of the thing now is this, yeah, well, she talks about this crazy stuff, but this is like, no, this is real. And so I did say some stuff to my brother about some of the things, because mine is a lot about plants, and knowing they give us what we need. And so it isn't a lot of this stuff, the information of like the CHDX, which I like getting all this stuff, the patches, all of these different things, but that is more comes from where my mom's stuff, the stuff that comes to her, because of the she has, because of her age and her friend group, a lot of people are battling that or know somebody who has battled it and stuff. So there's a lot of, you know, alternatives that go through that information line, because not everybody has good effects with some of this stuff. And so the those people, when they're going and they're not having a positive thing from the stuff that's being given to them through the Western part of the medical thing, so that they don't have good effects, and their stuff is growing or they're getting sicker or whatever it is. And so then they start looking for alternatives, like, well, what are they doing in France? Well, what are they doing in Spain? Well, how are Germans? And then that's where you start finding out more information. And so more stuff keeps coming in and coming in and coming in. And that's where you start getting, well, the doctors over in this place. So it was on the CHDX, that was not just doctors in South America, but doctors in Africa. Like, there's, and then remember when the sickness first started, there was a certain thing that they use in a whole bunch of different places. It's natural that they don't ever get that stuff. It's not. It's a still a medicine kind of thing. It's just like the horse paste, but it's different kind of stuff. I mean, it starts with a hydro or something. I don't remember. But there was people who were taking, like my sister takes it for lupus, but in other countries they take it just like regular. There's a doctor, and she's from another country. She's the black lady. I can't think of her name. Stella maybe is her name, but she talks about it a lot. She was using that curing people right and left when it very first started, and then when she started saying, that's when they were like, nah, she's a crazy lady, get rid of her. And but she's still been out there speaking out this whole time. And, but there's a whole group of doctors. I can't remember what they're called. Doctors for something. But there's a whole, I get their emails and stuff. And so there's a group of doctors who've been out there speaking, on this stuff for the whole time. But but they get, put on the back burner. But let me think, because, so this stuff, okay, so she was talking about, like, I think in Africa, and I don't know what all places, but there's a bunch of places that use these different things. So that's the information that starts getting spread around, is like what they're using in different places that is working. And they tell us, no, you can't have it, it's too cheap. So we got an alternative that's way better. And so they keep us away from just things that are simple, cheap, natural, and stuff like that, because they want to sell us on this, well, let's see how that works. And which is kind of weird too, is this lady on this scenario that's been created, that in the group of people, 2 of the people are really high up there making decisions for all the veterinarians and medical. So I was like, and I swear to God, there's something to this. They're killing our pets off. Like, our pets should be living way longer. And so I say stay away from any of their processed foods for sure. But there's more. There's just more stuff that we're gonna just keep seeing and figuring out. And but let me see. So on some of the stuff that I talk about with the CHDX, which that's not the real thing, but you know what I'm talking about when I say that. That is this stuff, and it cleanses you, just like a lot of these other things. The apricot seed, the black seed oil, they all have this cleansing. The peroxide in the water all has this cleansing, because to me, it seems it changes the biorhythm, the alkaline, acidic balance, and that makes the homeostasis for the parasite to, it's like it puts things out of balance so it can't exist in there, and some of it creates a flushing so it gets the stuff out of you. So it removes the stuff that would go in and build its home inside of you. And all these things that are building homes inside of people are this, it creates disease, it creates sickness and stuff. But also, you have a vibration. When you raise your vibration, it also makes it uncomfortable. And that's why we're going to have all this healing vibration stuff, because the lower vibration, that's why they want to keep you down in the dumps. They want to keep you feeling like, well, life's out to get you. And what are you going to do? Life sucks, man. And so it keeps you down in this like lower vibration. And that's what the awakening also has to do with, because as you heal all of these things that hold on to you, your vibration starts to go up and up and up. So you start getting better, feeling better. Sickness starts not being able to hang on you. And so that is where we're going to have a lot of these vibration things. But that is part of this awakening thing, where people have to pull themselves up, mind, body, spirit, pull themselves up in their vibration by healing themselves. And there's so many things. There's just so many people who are so stuck on their weight problem. I got a weight problem. I got a weight problem. It's not, you don't have a weight problem. The weight is your, yeah, it's weird. I just got a flash of a lot of different ways of using weight, and how it all like goes together. But your weight problem is due to something you're holding on to. And so you're holding on to things. Once you start letting go of things, the weight's going to start just falling off of you. And so it's a movement in life and existence, but people keep in a stagnation. It's like holding you back. It's like you are like you're Sonic, and you can zip and become this energetic flame of energy, but they can keep you held back of like, no, you're just a little blue guy. Just, so you just stay in this restriction and not knowing your own power, your own abilities, your own ability to move through life and let go of things and stuff. They keep you spinning around, if you're a good person or a bad person. Well, you're both, just so you know. Like, you're not a good one or a bad one. You're just both. You just got to find your balance, and your balance doesn't have anything to do with their balance or theirs. Nobody can say, well, you're a good one or you're a bad one. That's their problem. If that's how you look at life, and good or bad, that's your issue. It's not mine. And so you don't have to buy into it. You find your own balance. You are a little good and a little bad. You're a little hot, you're a little spicy. You're not just one thing. So you don't have to try and restrict yourself to being one thing. You have to learn how to accept yourself of being all things. So, and the more that you can accept yourself of being all things, the more that you can be proud of yourself. That's when you're loving yourself. And so let's get to this thing, because I'm going to wrap it up. So I got my next shoes yesterday, so I only had one day where I didn't have them. So anyways, we'll see. Because this would be 3 months that I've done this. And so I don't know, you guys probably have a better angle of seeing, like, if you're like, yeah, I think it's doing good, or nah, I think that's not sucky. So it's up to you. It's your perspective. It's what you get to see. Nobody else has to see what you see. You get to see what you want to see. That's what life's all about. We all get to see what we want to see. We get to play through. We get to play it out. It's like our golf game. So play through. So anyways, and I definitely, I feel like it's getting to the part of the dent, and getting to this part where it's going to start covering it with the more enamel. So it's going to start getting the shell on it, I think. So we'll see. But anyways, so as you heal, though, you automatically will be raising your vibration. But that's what this med bed thing is too, is this higher vibration. So, but that's why I kept on thinking, like, people are going to have to get to a point of being able to be in that vibration. Like, I don't think you could just take somebody who's down in the dumps and overweight, hates themselves, hates life and stuff, and put them in there and they come out like, oh, I'm good, I'm great. No, I don't think they're skipping like that. No, you got to take the journey. You got to go and let go of things. You got to do the walk and learn how to let go. Because in the process, you learn how to do things. So how do you just jump over that? You're not learning shit. So it's just like the same thing of like what we were taught in school. Do you want to learn it or you want to cheat? So if you want to really learn something, you got to really take the steps. You got to really go through it. So, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's, as we see people going through things, there should be no shame in that. That should be pride. And, I'm taking the steps, man. I'm learning shit. It doesn't matter where you are, because you can find somebody who's ahead and somebody who's behind. There's no set. There's just things in the way you look at things and stuff. So it's not, you can't fail. Like, basically, you can't fail at what you're trying to do. Even if you want to label yourself a failure, even if you want to look at yourself as a failure, that's your own judgment on yourself. And so you got to learn how to be like, why do I feel like a failure? Why do I think I'm a failure? Why do I not love myself? What is my problem? And get down and dirty with yourself and see, get down to the nuts and bolts and try and figure out what makes you tick. That's the awakening. That's what we're doing. And then once you figure out what makes you tick, then you've got more controls over the mechanisms. You don't get just reactive to things. You don't just buy into things. You just, you travel through the space in a different way. And so, anyways, but we're at this time where we've got a lot of different things happening and a lot of different speeds, a lot of different paces. but there's still going to be this bitch slap. You know, the universe is going to slap us all to, yeah, everybody pay attention to this. It's going to turn everybody's head in a new direction. And so that is, you know, it's the chaos. That's why you can look at it and be like, in this current situation, we've got an utter chaos, and we're on the precipice of either falling off or going, you know, something's going to happen. And this is where the universe is going to come in and slap it. It's like, slow down and get your shit together. And then we all turn in the same direction and see in the same direction. And that's what we're in this time. This is what is going to happen. That's what the event is going to be. It's just to get us all to fucking pay attention, wake up, go in this, you know, go towards this, which to me is go towards the healing, which to me is there's a timer on that because we have this giant separation of energies, and we're in this thing, and they've tried to keep people distracted to not work on themselves. But there's going to be like a quick you know, where you got to get in there and get going, and it's gonna it will be, even though it will seem like more time, but we create the next thing. So it's not like it can go at a different time, but there will be a lot more focus on healing. And you know, and it probably will be a big part of like whatever happens is going to be like, what's the point of going to work, man? Which there's going to be more motivation because there's going to be more exciting things that are going to open up with technology and more training, and there'll be a lot of things that are going to go good, but there's going to be a lot of things that are going to go bad. And a lot of the things that go bad is to just push you into wanting good, like, you know, to seeing, you know, becoming the creator that you are capable of being, becoming, you know, like, you know, Sonic being able to be blue 1 second and be flying the next second. So it's you being able to figure out your abilities. And so it's really a good thing, even though it's going to come in a hostile package. Like, things are going to seem like oblivion, horrible. Like, and when you see all these people, like, it's the end of the world, it's the end of the world. It's like, no, it's just the end of this bullshit. It's the end of an empire. It's the end of a dark empire. And so, but the people who are real attached to it, you know, that's all there is. It's all there is, but you got to see more. You just got to look out there and see more. And you got to see, like, the overstep, the control, and everything. So anyways, I wonder if I said all the things I was going to say. I don't know. Sometimes it starts, and I think I'm going to talk about one thing, and then all of a sudden I'm off on another thing. And it's like, there's no preparing. There's no prepping. Writing myself a script every night, like, get ready, what you gonna talk. No, it just fucking floods in. And but there always seems to be the same message to me, and we know what that message is because it's on repeat. So learning how to love yourself, learning how to love everybody, and learning how to have the day you want is key. So anyways, but we'll talk about it again tomorrow, which will be Sunday, as long as they don't blow us up tonight. So anyways, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.